Hello, my name is Dari Lishhomi, and today we're going to solve a type of question called an indefinite integral. I'll be explaining everything as simple as possible, step by step, so that people that are in the matrix can easily get out of the matrix. And whenever you see this type of question, it would be easier for you to solve. Bismillah. So before solving this type of question, we'll have to understand and know what is an indefinite integral. An indefinite integral is the opposite of a derivative. When you take a derivative, you're finding how something is changing. But when you integrate, you're going backwards, trying to find the original function that gave you this result. This is called indefinite because there are no limits. We're not trying to find a number or area, we're just trying to find a formula. And in the end of each indefinite integral, we're going to have to add a plus c. Now, why add a plus c? Because many different functions can have the same derivative, either shifted up or shifted down. So we add a plus c, the constant of integration it's called, to include all the possibilities. Now, looking at the question that they're asking us to solve, we look closely at the top and look closely at the bottom. This is what we call a rational function, a fraction where the top and bottom are both algebraic expressions. Now, step one to answering this type of question is we try and look for a pattern. If the top looks like the derivative of the bottom, or at least a part of it, that's a signal to use substitution. Now, in other words, we can see or try and differentiate x squared plus 9, which is 2x, and the 9 is just erased because there is no derivative of 9. And just to solve this, you just you move the 2 forward, 2x, 2 minus 1, and that would just give you 2. So we could, getting back into solving the question, we can see a relation. We can see that 2x is half the numerator. And this would help us with substitution. Now, how do we guess what to substitute? What the value of u is? Guessing u. Now, I've given you simple tricks when you're stuck, and these simple tips will help you solve any type or the beginning of any type of indefinite integral. Now, in order to guess u, guessing u could either be the highest exponent in the given question, or it could be the denominator, or it could be in brackets or roots. And most students often mess up at the beginning. And that's why these tips would really help you and keep you back on track. So now, looking at the integral we have been given, using these tips, we can guess the u. We have the highest exponent. It is the denominator. So u, we can guess u for being x squared plus 9. Now, our second step would be differentiating for u. we take the derivative of u with respect to x, it's 2x, which would become du is equal to 2x dx. In our original integral, we don't have 2x, we only have x. So how do we deal with this in the most simplest way? Here's the trick. Don't worry about solving for dx alone. Just look at the actual piece we have. In the question, we have x dx. In our expression for du, we have 2x dx. So we can just solve for x dx. That's the key. X dx is equal to half u du. And now we could, for step 3, we could substitute everything into the integral. Replace both parts, x dx, which is equal to half du, and x squared plus 9 is equal to u. So the integral becomes, yes, it's a little bit colorful, 1 over u. Now why, you may ask yourselves, why 1 over u? Now, is this a fraction? A rational expression? Yes. And because of that, since it's a fraction, we often keep it as 1 over u. Now to substitute these into the equation, we multiply it by half du. Now, anything that is a constant, a number, it can be 2, 3, 4, 100, we take it out of the integral. Half du. Step 4 to this would be to integrate. Now, lucky for us, in the data booklet, 1u or 1u du is equal to ln u plus c. It is called the standard rule. So the integral becomes half ln u plus c. Now substitute u back into x. Like we said, u is equal to x squared plus 9. So we plug that back, we plug this back into the u here. That would give us half ln x squared plus 9 plus c, don't forget plus c, and that would be your final answer. Now a quick recap for what we have done to solve this indefinite integral. We looked at the structure and saw that x was related to the derivative of x squared plus 9. And that told us to try to substitute using these tips. We guessed u is equal to x squared plus 9. We got to differentiate it. We replace everything in the integral and we've taken the half outside, because any variable, like I said, any variable, whether it is 2, half, 3 over 2, we take it outside the integral. And we integrated using ln u plus c. that's given into the formula booklet, and we changed back to x and boxed the answer. Now just a few tips. Again, just remember these are very useful. Match full expressions like x dx, not just dx, and always add c. That's how you solve this integral. I hope you understood clearly, and inshallah you do well in your quizzes, tests. Goodbye.